When you send flirtatious messages, it's like, oh, I like you. Let's go for dinner. Oh, I'd love to cuddle you in the morning. He's like, he literally wrote something like, I would like to eat your brain.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad in Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad, and we're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Donaldson himself. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. I am. We're recording this on a day where we have just heard that the wrestler.
I thought you were going to say Prigozhin.
Yeah, I mean that was a big news story today as well. But we just lost a wrestler called Terry Funk, who is a Texan wrestler from. He had a very long career. He wrestled forever, from his 20s to his 60s, and he was king of the death match. Very violent, always covered in blood, always blading, always getting cut up, he was famous in
you make me want to watch wrestling. I haven't ever really watched it before. Well, he was famous
in Japan for wrestling Mick Foley, who was also a big deathmatch wrestler guy, and they had the barbed wire Semtex match.
What?
Just Semtex and barbed wire going off all over the ring, and like proper like dark stuff.
Why don't I watch this? It sounds amazing.
In Japan, and we lost him. And I only mention it because apparently I saw it on, I think, one of the YouTube, or might have been a Reddit or something, talking about the Broad and Japan universe and Natsuki. And when someone was talking about the Texas as a state in America, Natsuki sort of wakes up in one of the videos or a live stream or something. He goes, "Oh yeah, Stan Hansen." Stan Hansen, and obviously name checks Terry Funk as well. And so, like, is Natsuki of that generation? I guess that generation, because he's a bit older than me and you. That generation really loved the kind of Texan wrestlers who went over and
I don't know. It might just be Natsuki. Natsuki's got an interest in lots of things.
Right.
You and him share quite a lot of interest, actually. Are you going to see Natsuki while you're over in Japan?
I don't think. Well, he lives up in the middle of nowhere, doesn't he?
Go and have a look.
Go and have a look.
Go and turn up at his salon and get a haircut.
That'd be nice. That'd be well funny. Buy some of his products, see what he's up to.
You've got to see Natsuki.
Got to see. I know. Well, yeah. It could take him to the wrestling.
You could. He'd be down for that.
Yeah.
But his interests are, he loves wrestling. He loves punk rock. Someone was asking me, why is Natsuki the way he is the other day? And I was like, I don't really know. I think it's just his parents.
In many ways, just his parents.
I think his parents
very straight-laced.
His mum's kind of a bit like chill and a bit crazy, and
right.
A bit like not your normal Japanese,
right?
Kind of like a bit erratic, and then I think he got in with the naughty crowd at school. I know he got in with like the punk rock crowd, and they're all doing like cigarettes and drinks, but when they were like 11 or something, and then he was like never at school,
right?
He got in a lot of trouble for never going to school,
right?
So
and now he cuts hair.
And look at him now. But yeah, for a rule-breaking bad boy, he's still pretty tame by Western standards.
Oh yeah, by Western YouTube standards.
Yeah.
I was watching that guy Fauci, is it? Fauci. He was in all kinds of trouble a few weeks ago because he I think got off with a drunken woman in an airport. I was watching that drama for a bit. And then he's this kind of like always on streamer who's just always streaming. Always streaming. And I don't think he's having a nice time mentally, I think. And he's having a difficult time, I think. But his fan base is very much egging him on.
Oh, God.
And his most recent thing was he was going to sign up with Kick. Who's obviously the big rival to Twitch, very controversial. And
big money.
He swatted himself and got arrested and got put away.
He swatted himself?
He swatted himself.
Oh, my God.
Remonstrated with the police on stream, and then the police, I think, might have sent him to a facility that is not necessarily correctional, more in the mental and wellness space, let's say. So, but it was on the day that he was supposed to be signing a contract with Kick. So,
oh, boy.
These always-on streamers, they are they will just debase themselves for anything.
I mean,
the intensity you have to have for that kind of caper is just something else. A completely different breed.
Find it all rather sinister, to be honest. I think one of the things about influencers in this whole world, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever, in the old days, celebrities had a team of people. You've got your publicist, you've got your manager, you've got security. Now it's just, I've got a computer and I stream and I do things. Now I'm very famous and I have 8 million followers and I can do whatever I want. And then, I'm fucked now. Yeah. And you don't have that entourage. You don't have that sort of team of people looking after you. So things can go horribly wrong.
Well, because you're kind of if your kind of stock in trade is crazy stuff and wackiness and pushing the envelope.
You got to keep going up, right?
Yeah, and you don't know where the line is because you kind of back yourself to a certain degree. It's like, people like me. People like what I do, and then you do something too far, and they go, "Oh, they didn't like that. I'm so fucked it. I've absolutely fucked it. I've got to do an apology video with the ukulele."
It's like, oh God, don't remind me of that ridiculous ukulele apology. It's like that kid here who's on TikTok and always does terrible shit, like breaks into people's houses and.
Oh yeah, I've seen that
Mizzy or
guy. Yeah,
something.
he was kind of quite hot for a while, wasn't he?
Where's he gone now? How many houses is he breaking into?
Yeah,
I don't know. The internet, it's a dangerous place, and
It is.
The fact that you can amass millions of followers just by doing some shit on your phone. The game's changed, Pete. The game has changed. And I've exploited it to full effect, so I can't talk. We've got a story from Etienne, who says, "Hello, Chris and Pete.
Hello.
I'm aware that
Hello.
you and every other sensible person advise never to travel to Japan in August, but my birthday falls in August. I was 50 on the 16th, so I bit the bullet, and I'm currently in Tokyo for 10 days.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Etienne. I don't know about you, but I found the thought of visiting my first izakaya pub, as my Japanese is rudimentary at best, and it's pretty intimidating. I thought, sod it, I'm officially a grown-up, so what's the worst that can happen? Sure enough, it was fine, and I got chatting to a young guy whose English wasn't great, but we could communicate badly. He asked where I was from, and I've been practicing saying, I'm from Scotland, in Japanese. On hearing this, On hearing this, he said, heat, very different, how feel? So I told him, and he looked blank. There followed an entertaining 20 minutes of miming, mangled Japanese and broken English before we were both very happy, and he understood the meaning of, I'm sweating like a camel's ballsack.
Wowzers.
Some useful terminology there. As he was leaving, it indicated that he'd use it as a phrase at work, and I had a really hard time convincing him. Probably not a good idea, mate. Don't do that. Really paranoid that I've managed to get a pleasant Japanese man the chop for teaching him a crude British colloquialism. Are there any other kinds? Good to see you on the podcast, Etienne. Goof to see you on the podcast.
Goof to see.
Good to see you, Etienne. Hello. Well done for teaching the people in Japan the key phrases. I remember I got called a swear word missionary years ago by Metro newspaper for going and teaching people how to say fuck.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
A swearing missionary.
What was it called? Tadashi fuck no tsukaikata. The book teaching people how to say fuck. What a good time that was.
Yeah.
And they brought out another book called How to Say Bitch. I was like, and everyone's like, you've got to teach them that, Chris. I was like, no. Boring words.
Misogynistic.
I want fuck. Fuck, very important, to quote Natsky.
It's very versatile as well.
It is. It's crazy they weren't teaching students those words. I think if you're gonna teach your students words in English, teach them the ones that come up a lot in every TV and film, right? Teach them fuck. Teach them shit.
You go north of the border, mate. You're out with Scottish people, you're going to hear the C word at least three times every sentence.
Oh, Lord. Well, what's going on in Japan this week, Mr. Dawson? Hit us with the news.
Oh, Christopher. The Shinkansen, the bullet train, if you will. It's my favourite. It's your favourite train?
I do like it.
I do like it too.
My favourite train.
Yeah, my favourite
with
train.
Pete Donaldson.
Obviously, when Shinkansens reach the end of their life, the actual carriages have to go somewhere. But they've decided to start recycling them into, get this, right, children's baseball bats.
I was expecting you to say children's books, and I don't know why.
Like metal books, just big, heavy metal books, just sharp edges.
That would be so cool. A book made out of metal. I'd want that.
Yeah. I mean, it would suggest that you can't be trusted with paper.
No.
Yeah. Metal.
I want the
books.
second edition of the Broad and Pete Donaldson book in metal.
In metal.
So what
so
they
basically they've scrapped a load of Shinkansen trains, and instead of I don't know what you do with a train, to be honest. Sell them to Elton John. He bought a tram once, didn't he? When he was drunk.
Stick it hard off.
Yeah, just stick it hard off.
Hard off.
Well, the train enthusiasts would love it. They've started recycling them into children's baseball bats, which are going to be released in a limited edition in October. Mizuno, obviously a big sporting brand, and Central Japan Railway Company, they are planning to sell 1,400 bats, priced at 14,000 yen rather, each. 3 designs, including one paying homage to the iconic blue and white colours of the Tokaido Shinkansen and markings resembling it. Trying to figure out where they would, obviously a lot of it's made of aluminium because it's kind of lightweight and flexible. So, how are they just using the poles in? Because that would make more sense if they were using the poles in the, the carriages that you grab hold of, because that's already baseball bat shaped. But it turns out they're not. They're taking the entire kind of like surrounding metal of the Shinkansen, melting it down, and then reforming it as baseball bats.
I just
in a big
seems
forge.
kind of wasteful and weird.
Yeah,
it's not.
turn
It's
it
weird.
Turn it into a big restaurant
But
or a house.
I've done the maths. It's
Right.
it's.
Oh God.
We all want to know
We don't trust them.
what's 1,400 bats times 14,300 yen.
Okay.
20 million yen.
20 million yen. So how much is that?
About £4.
No.
I don't know. That's like nothing.
No.
What's 20 million divided by 100? 50. All right, here we go.
10,000.
$133,000 roughly.
Right. Okay.
Of baseball bats made from a $500 million train. That's recycling. Welcome.
It
Can they
does
just
seem like they're going
ship
around
it off to some other country? We need a bloody
Yeah,
bullet
we
train.
need
Just ship it here for God's sake.
Stick it on
a
out loud. Yeah.
boat and send it here.
Stick it on. I'm presuming the same gauges over here.
Still use fucking horse and carriage in most of England.
Well, the javelin
train.
train that was launched in 2012 that goes out to sort of Kent, your neck of the woods, Chris. I've noticed like the sound because they're all built in Japan. Like the sounds that they have in the built into the system takes you back to Japan a little bit. It goes, no, 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 and it's like the same noise as the Shinkansen. I'm like, oh,
yeah, shame the interior noises of the train don't take me back to Japan.
No.
Someone on their phone going, I told you, don't talk to me ever again. We said we wouldn't speak. And someone else on the
What a tense ride you have.
Chocolate biscuits all
Chocolate
over the
biscuit
floor.
all over the
Someone
floor.
listening to a Nelly Furtado song. Just shit.
Whoa.
In Japan.
Do
nice and
not bring the man-eater into this.
I mean, the only man eater I should be listening to is Daryl Hall and Oates.
That's true. Yeah, you did introduce me to a new Hall & Oates song I've not heard. Akihiko Nakamura, a vice president of JR Central, said that I would like the children to hit balls at a speed of 285 kilometres per hour. A lovely little quote.
Fantastic.
Nice.
285.
Yeah.
Right. There you go, though. Japan taking its amazing trains and turning them into baseball bats.
Well done,
It's
them.
what we call a slow news week in Japan.
It
really
it's
is,
silly
isn't it?
season. It's the summer. This is what happens.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I always want to know. We did a news story a year ago. And it was like Japan makes space satellite from wood.
Yes.
What happened to that? Where's that story?
They're still making it. It takes ages.
Just a woodhead craftsman there.
Yeah.
Using the old nailless technique, right?
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's like the fourth bridge. It takes decades.
We'll be back in just a moment to talk less about bats made from bullet trains with your stories, comments, and questions in the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back with the fax machine. What have we got this week from our listeners / viewers now? Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, cameraman Chris and podcasting Pete. My question for you, this is from Joshua from Tennessee, where the whiskey comes from. My question for you and Pete, how does the nightlife in the northern parts of Japan compare to the rest? What are your favourite cities to experience nightlife culture in Japan? I've enjoyed nightlife in
Sapporo.
Nagoya.
Sakata.
Did I? Sakata?
Sausages.
Oh, yeah,
All
we
the
did. Yeah,
S's.
we did Sakata. Osaka.
Nagoya doesn't have nightlife. Nonsense.
No, I mean, it's not great, to be fair. So I completely agree with that. But yeah, your usual Tokyo, Osaka. Did I go out in Kyoto? I think I went out in Kyoto. Fukuoka.
I drove
some
through
Kyushu.
this year. I can't remember. No, it was last year. I drove through Nagoya at the end of last year, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. Because
Yeah.
I've ripped on it
You
for
always
like 7 years. I'm like, Nagoya, bleh.
Right.
Rather dip my head in a bucket of shit.
Well, nobody
But,
goes there, so you should be doing videos there. You should be finding
Should
the
I?
best things in Nagoya.
I've never met anyone who's got excited about a trip to Nagoya, except
No.
maybe you, to eat it. They do have like fried chicken wings or something there that's nice, but like it's just kind of like a big endless city. Now Tokyo's a big city and Osaka's a big city, but they've got like a strong sense of cultural identity. Nagoya is where people go to sort of disappear. And the only person I know that ended up there was, I think he was fleeing lots of debt.
Right.
He was like, they'll never find me in Nagoya.
Nagoya.
It's like, yeah, the
Massive
police are just like, fuck it, he's in there.
Okay, he's in Nagoya.
We can't find him now.
He's in his own personal prison.
He's gone. He's in the
in
streets of Nagoya, eating chicken
Right.
and going to Pete Donaldson's favourite nightclub, apparently. My favourite nightlife city is, the question was northern parts of Japan. Sapporo. It's I love nightlife in Sapporo. It's probably my second favourite city after Osaka. Probably.
Right.
Yeah. Tokyo is fun. There's lots of cool shit going on in Tokyo, but the clubs are a bit rubbish. The clubs in Osaka are kind of cool.
Yeah, there are
I'm too old
little
for that.
because Dotonbori, like the river, is so kind of like intricate and stuff. You do. The only time I've ever been to a club in
Intricate
Osaka,
river.
well, it's like very sort of like small, small, not very spacious roads, and so you can be lulled into like thinking there's not really big places to go.
Mm.
But everything's just obviously 10 floors up, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this place is massive.
Yeah.
And it'll be like you'll go into like this office building, and then upstairs there'll just be this massive nightclub. You're like, fucking hell.
I guess it depends what your definition of nightlife is. For me, I always thought like clubbing, but really, nightlife in Japan means going to like an izakaya and a few couple of bars afterwards. And for that, Japan's really good, better than the UK in some respects.
Oh, London's not a 24-hour city at all.
No, as I found out the other night. I found a really cool place in Soho called Chotomate.
Chotomate, yeah,
Chotomate,
that's
brand
all right.
new.
It's like it's not brand new. It's been there for years.
Oh.
You come over, Mike. You look.
He lived in Soho.
You come over here. You best not miss, yeah. It's a nice little cocktail place, isn't it?
It's got some really cool neon.
I once saw a woman spill like she had a really tall pint glass,
right,
and it sort of fell off the table, and without sort of like meaning to do it, she sort of just caught it in the air, and I was like,
whoa!
I just stood up and went. Amazing. Not in like a sarcastic, someone's dropped a pint.
Funnily enough,
I've never seen anything like that before.
Funnily enough, when I was in Chotomate, I knocked my cocktail over and my friend Ellen picked it mid-flight as well.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So
nice.
Something about Chotomate, people just catch the drinks. Go there.
Yeah, gravity doesn't exist. Chotomate.
Aaron in Minnesota says, hello, Chris and Pete. As with all reflective people who have reached the pinnacle of success in their chosen field, I sometimes sense that Chris may be tired of this current gig of his and ready for something else. Is this the case? Or has the new studio in Tokyo added a fresh spring in his step and a new song in his heart? A song in my heart. Oh, it would be Hall Notes. Moreover, has Chris ever considered taking an extended sabbatical away from Japan? If the show could be abroad anywhere else other than Japan, UK, and of course Sweden, where would it be and why? Aaron. In Minnesota.
Yeah, Chris is starting a really disgusting OnlyFans. He's decided to change it. It's going to be like some really like weird daddy kid stuff.
Oh my God. I'll be your dad. What?
I'll be Chris, your dad.
I'll be your father figure.
Yes.
Oh, fucking
good
hell.
stuff. He's going to coin it in.
I wish. But no, I won't be doing OnlyFans. That's Pete's specialty. I do feel a bit like, there's only so many times I can go. Japan is what not to do in Japan. Why you should do this in Japan?
Right.
Japan. And I'm a bit like that.
Right.
I'm definitely there. I would like to reorient the channel to be more of a comedy channel, I think, and script things a bit more carefully. But
maybe I could just give you a bop on the head with an aluminium baseball bat made from a Shinkansen train, and you'll forget everything you know about Japan. You'll have to relearn it.
That would be a good sitcom.
Yep.
That would probably get cancelled after the first series.
Put that in your scripty.
I don't know. Now that I've got the book out, I kind of feel like I can draw a line under those 10 years. And there's always that battle and lust for staying relevant, right, as an influencer. And I want to still do that, but also be a bit more experimental.
Yeah.
But being experimental doesn't bring views on YouTube,
That's true. I mean, I think people find themselves kind of going, all right, this has worked, this is really successful, let's do more of that, and you just find yourself rehashing it.
It's true. It's absolutely the case, and it's a real shame. And I need to sort of get over that.
Yeah.
But I got the new studio, really looking forward to using it. I'd love to do more sketches and stuff, but the future for me, I think it's still pretty much on YouTube. I don't think I'm going to be fleeing to Warner Brothers just yet. Right. Especially now that they're rubbish, and everyone's on strike.
Warner Brothers. What, like I said?
What, I don't know.
Like
Paramount.
A
film,
film,
film. What do you think I was saying?
A film.
What do you think I was meaning?
I don't know.
You went very like, Warner Brothers. I just thought, I want to make a film at some point, but I don't want to just abandon YouTube. I have a great community and I want to...
The film of the book?
A reenactment of the YouTube channel, even though it's just
Ken Watanabe's Natsuki.
I can imagine who would play me. We'll have someone handsome.
Who's that one who wants to eat women?
What?
He's part of a big dynastic rich person's family.
Oh Christ! The one who is in
Army Hammer.
Army Hammer, yeah.
He'd be Army Hammer.
He's quite handsome, but the bit about wanting to eat a woman's brain. Yeah,
that bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit scary. Why does he want to do that? He's a good actor, unfortunately. It's a shame he blew his whole career up. Some texts were leaked. For those who don't know, some texts were leaked.
Why are we getting into this?
Army Hammer, the actor who is sort of
toying with the idea of cannibalism.
When you send flirtatious messages, it's like, I like you. Let's go for dinner. I'd love to cuddle you in the morning. He literally wrote something like, I would like to eat your brain. Literally eat your brain.
Did he say
a spanner and a spoon? And
it's a bit much. It's a bit. right, that's going straight on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, you start, like, I think men find it quite hard to do.
What's his name?
Sexy
Arnie or
chat.
Army? Arnie Hammer.
Is it not Army Hammer? Because it's like Arm and Hammer. Isn't it the Arm and Hammer guy?
I don't know.
I think it's Arm and Hammer. You know the bacon soda? It must be the
Imagine,
bacon
like,
soda guy.
Army stole my heart. Literally, he cut it out. I fucking hate it, honestly. Next
Yeah, it's good
story.
stuff.
I'm getting creeped out even talking about.
All right.
Hello, Custard Chris and Pudding Pete.
oh dear.
Nice, happy question.
Brain pudding.
It's James from Liverpool here. My question for you guys is, what are your favourite lesser-known places in and around Osaka? We're already planning some day trips to Kyoto and Nara, but always open to some suggestions, says James. Oh God, Pete, help me out here.
I mean, I think it's one of those places where you can be kind of corralled into somewhere that, like, you know, quite touristy places. When you're a foreigner, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't really know this town. So go and see AKB 48 or whatever it's called. They've got a theatre there, haven't they?
The Osaka,
the number version one, yeah. And is it NBA?
Number 48 or something.
Number 48, yeah. They've got like a theatre where they're just having a dance every day. So go in there. That's confusing and weird.
I'd go to Corbett. Nobody goes to Corbett anymore. Like, you never meet anyone who's gone there,
right?
Apart from you and me to eat beef.
Yeah,
go there for a day. Have a look around Corbett Chinatown. That's nice.
Yeah,
different, isn't it? Go to USJ. Ride a dolphin.
What's USJ?
Universal Studios Japan.
Oh, is that where that is, Corbett?
Yeah.
Oh,
go meet Army Hammer.
Well, go meet Army Hammer.
Meet the monkeys. Go and see the cat train station, where there's a train in the shape of a cat, and they put a hat on a cat. And it's brought $100 million to the local economy.
Okay, Hat and a Cat.
Remember Cat Nation, that documentary?
Yes, Hat and a Cat.
It's called Nitama.
Okay.
And it died.
And it died.
It brought like $10 million to the local economy. The cat died. They were like, oh, shit. Let's get another one that looks similar and stick a hat on that. Go there. That's trippy and weird.
Stick a hat on that.
Go and spend some money. And that's in Wakayama Prefecture, just south of Osaka. Nice place, full of cats with hats. I also got Dr. Zeus wrong. Apparently it's Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
In my audio book, I fucked up all the words.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Dr. Seuss, not Dr. Zeus.
Yeah, I get that wrong all the time, and I've literally got the guy on my leg.
Oh, my Lord.
There he is.
The Cat in the Hat.
There he is.
Go and see the Cat in the Hat.
Go and see the Cat in the Hat.
Stories, questions, comments coming in to Broad and Japan podcast at gmail.com. We'll be back in the week, guys, all over again. But for now, no matter where you might be, out there in the big wide world, have yourself a great few days. And we'll see you right back here to do all over again with the Cat in the Hat himself. Have a good one.